Welcome back for another episode of The Real Cinema Show. My name is Rob,
I'm Devin.
and on this show we talk about movies. Movies we saw, movies we are going to see, and movie trailers, things like that. Devin, we got to see a couple movies. Well, actually, you got to see a couple movies.
Yes.
What was one of those movies?
Kraven the Hunter. That was the movie I got to see. Regrettably. I knew it wasn't going to be good. My expectations were low going in this. It's for now going to be the final movie in Sony's Spider-Less verse. Starring Aaron Taylor Johnson, of course. You know, like I said, didn't feel like it was going to be much. The action was just okay at times. You know, the way he gets his powers just makes no sense.
Yeah.
People mentioned, like, and I read online, I was like kind of agreeing, like, the ADR was bad at times. Like, with this and Madam Web, like, I don't understand how Sony keeps, like, I guess making incomplete movies at this point, feels like.
Interesting.
Because, were you going to say something? Or?
No, I was just thinking on what you were just saying.
Because it just feels like they just didn't have an idea of what the dialogue was at times, or just, I'm just trying to get at what they're going for, and it just...
Do you think they made a movie and then they, maybe got some bad reactions in like a test screening and then they're like, oh, how do we fix this? Or
I don't know if it's fully that, or they just were like, man, no, that's not what we're going for with this scene. Let's just change it a bit.
Yeah.
When a character's back is turned, and I was reading an article about this morning, there's a scene where I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm trying to think, and like, yeah, that kind of makes sense how it just didn't work at all.
Yeah.
So there's this villain in this movie that also just has he's like a side villain. He comes in out of nowhere, and his powers are just unexplained. It's like he can freeze time, or he freezes people, but it's not explained what his motive or agenda is. Mm-hmm. So you're just left puzzled with a lot in this movie. Like, it's just a bad movie.
Okay, so speaking of bad movie,
yeah,
on Rotten Tomatoes, currently it has a 15% critic rating, but it does have a 72% audience score.
Yes, I did see that.
Why do you think there's such a difference there?
I feel like a lot of movies, like, they're just, the critics will just be like maybe even overly harsh.
Yeah.
And the audience are just like, it wasn't that bad if you're just not like taking an in-depth lens look at it, I would say.
Yeah.
Because I would think it's more fair to put this movie, not that this is good, but more in like a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes if I was given that, or 40% audience score.
Okay.
Because that's kind of more where my feelings about this movie felt, because there's a good action scene here. And like I said in my out-of-theater reaction, there's just a handful of good jokes. It's not like a Marvel movie where they're trying to do a joke every 2 minutes.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be somewhat of a darker villain, right? Like,
he's supposed to be like a darker villain, or like, I think to an extent an anti-hero as well. And maybe I could be wrong about that.
Okay,
but it's just, there's no direction of what this movie wants to be, because at different times they're like, okay, he's trying to do this with this character, and this will be the focus of the movie. Or the focus of the movie is his problems with his dad. But it's just different. It's bouncing around different things and just never has one clear direction of what it wants to be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
so I made the smart decision by not seeing this movie.
Yes.
Okay. So what do you rate it 1 out of 10?
I gave it a 4.5 out of 10.
All right. So you do not recommend this to the average audience?
No, I would say if you're thinking about seeing it or not seeing it, I'd say pass on this one. Okay. If you want to just have a fun laugh at the movie, you can wait to stream it at home whenever it comes out.
All right. Well, that's Kraven the Hunter.
Yep.
And then a movie that we both saw together.
Yes.
September 5th. So we both saw the trailer a couple weeks back, and I think the trailer impressed us, right?
Yes.
We both said
it was a solid trailer.
It's a thriller, basically, about terrorists kind of, taking over the 1972 Special Olympics. Or not Special Olympics. Munich Olympics.
Yes.
That would be a different type of movie.
There is a Special Olympics, but...
Yeah. Well, this one was special.
Yeah. For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah. But this movie was special for all the right reasons.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? This I thought everything worked on every level.
Mm-hmm.
The story of this band of sports journalists or not sports, sports broadcast
They're
journalists.
journalists to an extent, I think.
That basically, they have the option to, hey, do we take this story on as ourselves, or do we pass this on to the news department of ABC? And these guys are like, no, we're here. This is this is our story, and I thought that was I thought that was a cool element in the story.
Yeah, it showed the newsroom, because this is mainly like takes place in a newsroom, and shows the difficulties of just running a normal like news show, whether it be sports or whatever. And now you add in a crisis situation where things are actively changing, and you're trying to do what's right to cover it as best as possible, and also not cause more harm, because journalism is very tricky and very difficult to do well, and in general just to do at all.
Yeah.
And especially during that time, there's only TVs. Not everyone has access to a screen. There's no phones at the time.
Yep.
And when you watch the movie, you understand why that matters in the context of the film, because if the same situation was to happen today, it would be completely different in how it would be covered in so many ways and what would happen.
Yeah, there would be like 100 different point of views from everyone's phone. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and the terrorists could do a lot of things differently based on the reaction to seeing the news.
Yeah.
And all that. It would change it completely. I thought John Magaro, he was really the lead of this film. From the trailers, I thought it was going to be Peter Sarsgaard, I think is how you say his name.
Yeah. I thought Peter Sarsgaard, in his role that he had, I thought he was incredible.
Yeah.
He really, he killed that performance, I thought.
He was good, but John Magaro, for me, he stole the show. He was just, he was fantastic. He was
great too.
He was the guy trying to run everything and make it as best as possible. And we saw the Q&A afterwards with Peter Skarsgård,
the whole cast,
John Magaro,
the director. Yeah.
And it was really interesting just to see the in-depth look. The director, I believe, was German as well, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Just to get to see all their perspectives and the research they did to make it as historically accurate as possible.
Yeah. I think in the Q&A that they said that, the director wanted to make that set, that newsroom that they're in, for basically 75% of the movie.
Yeah.
As, time accurate as possible. So it brought the actors into this headspace of like, oh, we are actually, doing this as a job, and therefore it could, make their performance better and things like that.
Yeah, it was just a really intense, like, it didn't take long for the movie to go, and then it's at breakneck speed the whole time, which I really love in movies where it's just like, here's what's happening, and we're just gonna constantly, like, it reminded me a bit of Saturday Night that I saw a couple months back.
You know what? Yeah, that's what Stephanie said.
Yeah, I was talking to her about that, and we both said the same thing. We're both like, yeah, because you're mainly following that one person, whether it be Lorne Michaels in Saturday Night or John Magaro's character in this one, where they're trying to manage everything going wrong, and just, Yeah,
because it's literally about two people trying to get this broadcast on live television.
Yes.
And all the intricacies with that. Yeah.
The way the camera follows him around. Yeah. The kind of color grading, the tone, like,
and just like the 70s feel.
The kind of, because I think they purposely like added like a grisly effect to the like lens.
They definitely did.
Yeah.
Because it was shot on a red, which is like, a super sharp digital camera. Like, it's not on film, so it wouldn't have been grainy.
And both these events take place in the 70s, so same feel for a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
Which made it a pretty special film, in my opinion.
So, what are you rating this movie 1 out of 10?
It's a 9 out of 10 for me.
I'm going to have to agree with that as well. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Recommend?
Absolutely. This is definitely worth seeing in the theaters for me.
Yeah, if you haven't seen September 5th, definitely check that out. Yeah. It's one to watch for sure. Alrighty. We're going to move on to our next segment, Trailers of the Week. We're going to go based on a see it or pass basis, and I'm going to give you the rundown on our first movie. After escaping post-war Europe, a visionary architect arrives in America to rebuild his life, his career, and his marriage. On his own in a strange new land, Laszlo settles in Pennsylvania, where the wealthy and prominent industrialist Harrison Lee von Buren recognizes his talent. This movie is The Brutalist, It comes out in a limited release December 20th. What did you think of the Brutalist trailer? Our first real trailer, because the last one was a teaser.
Yeah, last one was barely a teaser that hardly even set the tone, really, because it was just one or two shots, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
This one gave me a slightly better idea, but still not a whole lot with this movie coming out now this week, really.
Yeah. Friday.
It's got, obviously, extremely great praise. I think the main idea and what I've read from the synopsis and that you said obviously is that it's an immigrant story and he sounds like he's tasked with a big project to build something monumental is what I got out of it.
Based on his previous work.
Yeah. So that's where it has me interested, but I just wish it gave me like a little bit more.
Well, I think that the trailer for me gave me like the struggles of being an immigrant, like not feeling that the people, in this country not respect you but want you here.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of struggle, and that's I think where this movie's gonna focus.
So that discrimination kind of tone, I definitely saw that in the trailer as well. That part as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that part as well.
What country is he from? Do you know? Is he like from Poland or something? Or?
I am not sure what country he's from, no. But
I'll have to look. This person is not a real person, right? Like this is a fictional story.
I believe so. I try to look it up. I think this is just a fictional story. That's a long one, though. 3 hours and 35 minutes with an intermission. It's gonna be 3 hours and 50 minutes for anyone who's able to see it.
Yeah, this movie looks like it could be the most epic movie this year.
Yeah.
It feels grand. It feels like it feels as big as the Lord of the Rings, but it's just about people.
Yeah.
And their relationships and struggling to find themselves in America. And I don't know, I'm just so excited to see this. The trailer music, bum, 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 like that's stuck in my head, and the shot of the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Love that shot. I love the shot at the end of the trailer, and what was also in the end of the teaser is where he like smokes a cigarette next to the firework or something. Like,
yeah.
Like this movie's gonna be beautiful to look at.
Yeah.
And
for a $10 million budget or less than that.
Yeah. And that's what's crazy also, huh? It's $10 million.
Because it's got a lot of big names in it. Or not big names, but names for sure that I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah. And the director of this, he's an actor. He started out as an actor, and he's like in episodes of like Law and Order and stuff like that.
Wow.
So for him to come out with like this big, massive drama movie, it's inspiring.
And what's surprising is the movie's supposed to take place all in the United States, right? I would think.
I would think probably, yeah.
And the movie did not film at all in the United States.
Oh, no?
It filmed in Italy and Budapest.
Wow, okay.
So that's where, and it only took 34 days to film this entire movie.
Wow.
So.
That's cool to know.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable for this movie. So, and a limited release right now, so I think only for lucky like us to be able to see it in LA or New York, you're going to be able to see it in a theater right now.
Wow. Yeah, we got to get our tickets.
So we're both going to see this one.
Yes. So, yeah, we're seeing it.
Yeah.
All right. Criminal activists hijack a gala taking 300 passengers. Not passengers. Hostages. One extremist plans mass as messages to the world. An ex-soldier turned window cleaner now works to rescue the hostages. This movie is Cleaner. Comes out February 21st. Starring Daisy Ridley.
Yep.
What do you think of this trailer?
So, it's fairly, I think, cliche standard action movie by most standards today. She's not just an what'd you say she was? An ex-agent or something?
It just says ex-soldier.
Ex-soldier, ex-Jedi as well. So she's got experience in the field.
Yeah. I haven't seen any other movies that she's been in except for the Star Wars trilogy.
She was in a movie earlier this year called The Young Woman in the Sea. Very highly rated. I saw it. It was a fantastic movie. It's a true story movie about a swimmer in the 1920s who wants to swim the English Channel from France to Europe, which is about a 20-mile swim.
France to Europe?
I mean, sorry.
France to England?
Yeah, sorry, that's what
I was like,
meant.
France to Europe? That sounds like a pretty short swim.
She's gonna swim.
You don't even
like,
have to go anywhere to swim there.
It's a crazy swim.
Yeah.
But no, it's a 20-mile swim, and it's a brutal swim, especially
Wow.
back then.
And it's probably ice cold. in that
Unassisted
water.
too. Yeah, it's back in the 19. Yeah, it was a really great film. But
So anyways,
she was
that's
great in
that
Yeah,
movie.
sorry.
This movie, it's basically like a rip-off Die Hard.
That's what all the comments said too.
Oh, really?
Die
Yeah,
Hard with a
that-
cleaner.
That's what it looks like. You know?
Yeah, but it's directed by Martin Campbell, who did Casino Royale. So that's what had me
Casino
interested.
Royale was really good.
Yeah, that was a pretty good movie. So that's why I have a little more hope than normal for another action movie, because it seems like any action movie gets greenlit now in Hollywood nowadays, no matter how.
Especially if it
Typical
resembles anything of John Wick. It's like, yep, let's go.
Pretty much.
Oh, movie, and then there's
One-
there's a lot of like kick-ass people movies now.
Mhm. Where it's just one person taking on an entire army of people.
Yeah, and they're not a superhero, but
No.
they're kind of, you know.
They just have.
And
all
we're going to
this
talk about
training.
another movie that's very similar,
Yes.
you know. So does this trailer make you want to see it?
Only for the director, I think I would just about see it. I think if it wasn't for him, I'd say probably pass.
I'm going to pass.
Yeah. fair
Sorry, Cleaner. All right. When the girl of his dreams is kidnapped, a man incapable of feeling physical pain turns his rare condition into an unexpected advantage in the fight to rescue her. Novocaine, coming out March 14th of next year, obviously, starring Jack Quaid. What do you think of this trailer?
Now, I love this concept. I know it's like another action movie where it's like one person trying to like be the hero.
Yeah.
But the way this one's done with the SEPA, that rare condition he has where you can't feel pain,
Yeah.
I thought was great.
Yeah.
Incredibly silly. I'll be there for this one.
Yeah, me too. There's so many good moments in it, like where the gun flies into the fryer,
Yeah.
and he just like sticks his hand in there and just pulls out the gun, and then he goes to catch the knife and it goes right through his hand. Like
He's like, it's all right. I'm just
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's a funny little concept to play with.
Yeah.
You know, Jack Quaid is really good in The Boys,
Mhm.
so I'm on board with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't looked up who the filmmakers are, but just trailer alone, yeah, this looks like it'll be fun.
Yeah. I think I'll see it as well. It looks
Yeah.
pretty good.
And I do have to say that this does have a pretty cool movie poster. We just saw that before the.
It's like a operation, right? Poster?
Yeah, it looks like Operation.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Mhm.
Alrighty. There's no synopsis for this one or no log line because there's no plot details. So, but this movie is 28 years later, coming out June 20th, 2025. What do you think of this first little? It says official trailer on YouTube.
Okay.
It's definitely just a longer teaser.
Yeah. It's a really well done teaser because I honestly don't even remember any dialogue being said. Do you? In this, when I think about it now.
There's like a old lady giving like this
No, but I know that.
mantra thing, but other than that, that's really it.
Yeah, I think that was really
very
creepy
creepy.
and well done because I was like, what is she like? I was trying to understand like what was she getting at or saying half the time? Like,
Yeah, none of it made sense to me at least because she was just like saying numbers 7, 11,
7,
like,
6,
I don't know.
5, 11, 12, and I'm like, oh, what's happening?
Yeah,
So I saw the first one 28 days later, and that was pretty good.
yeah. I recently saw 28 Days Later, maybe like a month or two ago,
Okay.
for the first time, and I quite enjoyed it. You know,
Okay.
it at the time. What took me out of it at first is the camera quality. Like, there's something off with the camera quality in that first one. I don't know if they shot it on like,
I think it was something low budget or like a camcorder. It was.
yeah.
That's why.
And so it's interesting that you mentioned that this movie was filmed on an iPhone.
Yes, on an iPhone 15.
Yeah. So they're keeping with that sort of same little look, I guess, of like it looks low budget.
Mm-hmm. But it's got obviously a great cast for,
Yeah.
probably a decent. It's low budget and feel, but probably big, decent sized budget in terms of what it's actually made of.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what did you? So, What do you think of that very sickly looking person towards the end? Do you think that is Cillian Murphy?
It's not.
It's not?
It's been confirmed. It's not.
Well, this is what I was going to say. It was an actor that played that part.
Yeah.
That's not a CGI monster, sick, infected person. That's a real person, right?
Yes.
But to me, it looked like that actor was a body double that they CGI'd Cillian Murphy's sort of, resemblance on. What do you think of that?
The actor, that actual shot of that, what do you want to call it? A corpse, dead zombie, or?
Well, we don't know if he's dead.
Okay. Well, a person came out, said, I'm the actual actor of that person, of that shot you see. That's not Cillian Murphy, that's me. So it's officially, that's not Cillian Murphy.
I know, but did you hear what I just said? That guy could have just been a body double. Like, oh, they're using my body. That was me. That in that shot, that was me. And he's telling the truth.
Okay, you think that's
because if you look at that guy's face, does not look like the face that's in the trailer.
Well, that's
the body does, but not the face. That looks like a completely different person.
Interesting. I don't think that would be Cillian Murphy the way they're doing it. So do you think when he made that announcement, he's just trying to be misdirection, or he's telling that half truth you're saying?
Or maybe he doesn't even know. This person probably has a very small role where he's like, oh, hey, can you do this little part in this shot? Without really saying, hey, we're gonna CGI Cillian Murphy's face on you. You're just the body double.
That's pretty interesting to look at it. I don't know if
they do that, but
I don't agree with it personally, but that's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, that's my take at least.
I would need to look at it again, but I'm just gonna believe him that that's actually him playing that whatever, that corpse or that zombie, and that maybe they're holding back on Cillian Murphy in this teaser because it was really well done. The shots of all the skulls at one point and that creepy narration made it for a really good trailer, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. This is one that I'm gonna go see, definitely.
I'm gonna see as well, for sure.
All right, Devin. Now that brings us to what's opening this week.
Yes.
We have a few movies. Oh, you did not put it to silent? How dare you? Mufasa, The Lion King.
Yep.
Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And what we were just discussing, The Brutalist. Out of those three, if you could rank them in order on which one you want to see most versus least, what would your order be?
I don't know if this is going to be a surprise. I haven't seen the first two, but the number one I would want to see would be Sonic out of these three.
Silence.
Listen, the only thing I have against The Brutalist, it feels like I'm going to need to be really focused on paying attention for this is because it's an epic. It's 3.5 hours. I'm going to be like, all right, pull it together, because this is going to take a full day watching that movie pretty much.
Well, if it's good, then you won't have to try hard at all.
I get that. I get that. But for a drama too, it's super engaging. I don't know if I've watched a drama that long. I mean, is Oppenheimer considered a drama? Killers of the Flower Moon, I guess those are
dramas, yeah.
Yeah, those are dramas that I guess I'm more familiar with the people that made those, Scorsese, Nolan.
Yeah.
And there's more expectations. This, I feel like I'm going in more blind with not really seeing much.
Yeah.
Because
and based on the filmmaker, we don't know really what to expect.
Yeah.
He's only done a couple movies, and I haven't seen any of them.
That's not me, yeah. So that's not me, hating on The Brutalist. That's just me trying to be prepare yourself for this more than anything else, I would say.
Yeah. So, Sonic is number 1.
Let's see.
Are you going to say Mufasa number 2?
No, that's just... I really don't know. It's tough. Look, I'll go with Brutalist number 2. All right, 2 apiece.
Don't let me influence you.
Okay. God. No, I'd actually want to go with the Brutalist because it is ambitious.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see something different for a change. So let's go Brutalist and then Mufasa. But in an ideal world, I'd like to actually be able to see all three if possible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm only seeing one movie, and that is The Brutalist.
Not helping.
So you're on your own with the other 2 reviews.
Great. Thank you for that.
So, yeah, the Brutalist, the trailer sold me. The teaser trailer sold me. The ambition of this movie sold me.
I think the song sold you of this movie more.
And the dun-dun-dun,
Yes.
love it. And then the other two, I honestly don't really even care to see.
Okay.
I didn't see the first two Sonic the Hedgehog movies, and I didn't really like the Lion King.
The live action one?
Well, it's animated, but I guess
The live action animated?
yeah, it didn't really work for me.
Okay. Wow.
The original animation is, in my opinion, 10 times better.
Wow.
Actually, no, I'm lying. 100 times better.
Wow.
100 times better than that one. Mufasa has Barry Jenkins going for it.
Yeah.
So, I can.
Academy Award winner? Or...
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He won for Moonlight. Yeah,
Okay.
I won Best Picture. So, at least there's some hope with it.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm not saying it looks bad or anything. It's just not for me.
Okay.
The first one is just meh, and I feel like this one might be meh.
Wow. All right, fair enough.
So, yeah, that's my order, and I will be definitely seeing The Brutalist, and you'll definitely keep an eye out for our out of the theater reactions.
Yes.
For The
Brutalist.
Yeah, for The Brutalist, and then Mufasa and Sonic from this guy over here.
Definitely Sonic. I don't know about Mufasa. I would think I said Mufasa last. Yeah. That's lower priority. Definitely want to see Sonic because that looks like a fun time.
Alrighty. You didn't see the first two, right?
Not yet. I have to binge them very quickly.
Okay, cool. All right, guys.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for our out of theater reactions.
Yep.
And we'll catch you in the next one.